Hello. I know it's been a while, but I figured we'd try something a little different this time. We'd get into the Gundam realm, one of my other hobbies I've spent a lot of money in and a little too much time in. But I figured we would look at something people are all curious about. The high-grade seed strike dagger. Now, is this a kit that I think's warranted the premium price tag? No. It's not a bad kit, but definitely not $40, depending on shipping, worth. And there's some glaring issues. Let's get into it, though. One of the best things about the kit, though, is the fact that it uses the high-grade strike as a base, which is good. High-grade strike's a phenomenal kit, but the high-grade strike is still old. And since all this really shares is new lower arms, a new torso, and a new head, and I think new legs, I don't think it really warrants the price tag of being $40 when it's mostly just a strike Gundam. Now, that base does provide for excellent articulation with some truly phenomenal poses you can get the kit into due to the fact that everything articulates well. The joints are nice, they're stiff. You can get more than a 90-degree bend to the elbow, about a 90-degree bend to the knee. The head being on a ball peg warrants that you get all kinds of range of motion. Of course, it being on a pull-out hinge means you can get even more range, which is definitely good, especially for a high grade. Now, you get nothing in the waist, nothing in the torso because, well, that's just the construction of the model kit. I wish you could get an ab crunch in there. You get a little bit of one arcing back, but that doesn't help much. Arcing forward, you get nothing. You get a little slight bit of a pivot unless you pull the waist up completely. And then twist, and that kind of breaks the sculpt a little bit. You get, of course, the side skirts that are also new pivot out. The front skirts pivot out. The legs are the standard high-grade seed legs. So you're going to get pretty far motion forward, no motion back. We already covered the knee. You'll get a little bit of a swivel here, swivel there. Good ankle articulation. One of the things the seed kits excel at is generally being well articulated. From the back, you don't really get a ton of options, really, for articulation or anything new sculpt-wise. It's a grunt suit. You shouldn't really expect much. I went ahead and I panel lined the kit before we went ahead and reviewed it since, well, this kit's rather bland without anything done to it whatsoever. It's rather basic. Now, you do have plenty of options with this kit. That's one good thing about it. Given that it's based on the high-grade strike, the mobile suit's very versatile. You get a ton of display options. But one of the biggest issues is the fact that since you don't get really any option parts, like any head options or any hand options or really anything like that, you just get a back option. I don't know, for $40 this feels a little bit on the cheap side, but aside from that, it's not horrible. I mean, it could be a lot worse. I will say one thing, the kit is quite nice in color accuracy. It looks about how you expect it to look. Of course, most of the seed kits are accurate in color placement. Now, we get into one of the major flaws about that color placement. Due to the colors the mobile suit's in, you have obvious points where the nubs are. Like here at each of the forearms, very bad on the head, very bad on the feet, very bad on the torso. They're in bad spots. What makes me wonder why they're in such bad spots is that this is a new kit. all the parts I pointed out that have bad nub placement aren't reused parts. They're new parts going on the old pre-existing kit. Meaning that what you wind up having is kind of this weird jarring effect where the old parts of the original Strike Gundam hide their seams and hide their nubs better than the new parts for the Dagger. A lot of that may just be me nitpicking, but it does seem like for the price tag, you shouldn't really have to worry much about having to go in and paint nub marks all over the entire blue and red parts of the kit. That seems like a little too much work. While we're on that topic, another issue is the eyes. There is no... Well, I can show you better like this. The silver behind the eyes is a chrome Gundam marker that I had to apply to the plastic. There is no foil sticker in the box. As a matter of fact, there are no foil stickers at all with the entire kit. You have nothing in the way of decals. Nothing. Now, for a grunt suit having no decals, that seems like sacrilege to some. Even to me, it seems like sacrilege. Grunt suits should have decals. Even if they're a seed suit, most of your seed high grades come with at least some kind of marking decal. And yeah, that seems a little odd that you have no decals whatsoever for this. Not even foil stickers for the eyes. By not having any kind of stickers whatsoever, this camera part at the top of the head and the camera part at the back of the head just blend into the blue that is the head. There is no actual way to differentiate them other than shine. And once you gloss coat the kit, you're not going to be able to see that at all. Which I guess was done to save money, but I mean, you could have thrown in some foil decals. You could have really thrown in an LED unit and it would have made the kit work even better. That aside, though, the aesthetics of the mobile suit are nice. It's a good looking model. It cuts a nice figure next to other Gundam Seed kits, obviously. And next to its counterpart, the Dagger L, it'll look great next to. But that still doesn't warrant a $40 price tag. One thing I do have to ask is, why was this premium Bandai? Out of all of the obscure kits to do in premium Bandai, why a relatively known grunt suit? I understand that the Astray was the more liked suit. Making a suit that was the main grunt suit, the gem of Gundam Seed, basically, for the longest part of the series, into a exclusive to just premium Bandai, I don't understand that, but whatever. Now, you get a lot of display options, since with this being a strike, you're able to do a variety of different things with everything. You can use any of the strike's weapons, any of the strike's anything. You got this little spot here on the back that, if I can get it out, you can just pretty much attach any of the striker packs to. Let me go ahead and just pop this out with the parts separator. Yeah, just open that little port there. I'm going to use a striker pack. Of course, you'll have to remove the beam saber and remove the beam saber holster, obviously, because, well, I mean, with it just being a little mushroom peg, it shouldn't be that hard to get off, but you can see that that's gone. Now, just take your striker pack and just plug it into the back, and there you go. You got options. And yes, that's the striker pack from the Strike Rouge, but yeah, that looks pretty nice. It cuts a nice figure with that kit. And of course the beam sabers can fit into the same spots. They're not going to fit good, obviously, but they can fit. You've got the beam saber handle. You've got a yellow blade this time. Not a green, but a yellow. Which is nice. That yellow is definitely nice. Contrasts nicely with the parts on the kit. Ain't even really got to take the back of the hand off. You can just... Yeah, that looks nice. Looks nice with the striker pack added to it. Adds a little more red and black to the kit. Of course, I would use the regular striker pack. That's a little pink, but that's not bad. And that's one of your many options you have. Of course, we can remove this and show what came in the box, which was the parachute pack option. Which, again, plugs in snugly. It looks good. It looks really nice on the kit. You could probably paint it and get a little more color onto it, but it's mostly just gray. Doesn't look bad though. Adds some weight to the kit, so that's good. And of course, for that, you've got your beam spray gun as well. That doesn't look bad either. That one you will have to take the back of the hand off. Put in the spray gun. Put the back of the hand back on. And yeah, that looks nice. I like mobile suits with small arms. I think it looks good. I think that by doing small arms for mobile suits, you get some cool options. And Seed definitely gave you options for that. Yeah, let's just add a beam saber there. And yeah, yet again, it's a nice looking kit once you get everything kitted out and decide what display option you're going to go with. And yeah, it's a good looking model. And of course, other than the spray gun option, you've got the rifle option, which is probably how a lot of people will display it. I'm going with the spray gun option. I think the spray gun looks a little nicer, but that's my opinion. So we can just yeah, the rifle looks nice too. The rifle's a nice detailed rifle. A little bit of panel lining is your friend, obviously, in this case. And of course, the standard flip out side handle and everything. I don't personally think the hand can reach that too well, but let's find out. While we're on camera, let's go ahead and find out if you can get that sort of articulation out of this kit. Let's just find out. You know what? You can do it. Looks a little weird, but you can definitely do it. You might pop the arm in a socket like I did there, but yeah, you can do it. It's doable. Doesn't look too bad from one angle. From the other, it's a little weird, but yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. And that's sadly the whole thing this kit has, though, for its price tag, is it's just alright. That's kind of the sad reality of this being a premium Bandai release, is that it's just alright. It's a suit I'd have loved to have seen get a standard release, given the fact that Seed is getting a bit of a popularity boost as of late. And yeah, I'm right there with the large majority that Seed isn't that great of a series, but the mobile suits are nice. They look good. Now, the shield is the standard shield option you get with all your Seed kits. It just straps onto the back of the arm, or the arm armor in this case. It gives you two options. One ball for the back, one ball for the side. Take your shield, just plug it in either to the back or to the side. I prefer mine to the side. And yeah, that looks pretty good too. That'll give you a good range of motion with it and give you the option to pretty much use it the way you would any shield. Yeah, not bad. I wish it covered a little more. Yeah, I mean, it looks good either way. I wish it covered a little more of the kit, but that's because Well, I think that what's there is a little bit limited because the price you pay for the kit doesn't give you a ton of options display-wise. But what options you do get, you can make use of and get a nice looking kit out of. So yeah, it's not bad like that. This is probably how I'm going to leave the kit displayed, is like this. If I had a spare striker pack, I would put a spare striker pack in there too, but I don't have a spare striker pack. Wish I did. But really, really warrant this kit as something different. This kit does remind me a lot of the HGCE gym that, while it's just a basic kit, there's not a whole lot really to it. There's enough there to make it its own thing. Just like the HGCE gym really technically isn't a whole lot different from the RX-78, but what is there is its own thing. Same rule applies with this. Now the disadvantage, of course, is the gym is more readily available. This isn't. This has to be a premium Bandai web store exclusive, which, again, the kit's not obscure enough, in my opinion, for that to happen. The option parts that are lacking, like extra hands and decals and foil stickers, add a little bit of a cheapness to the kit. And of course, the problem of painting so many crucial details on a high grade, especially a modern high grade, means that ultimately it adds a bit of a cheapness you don't want to feel with the kit. Now, of course, one of the biggest advantages, in my opinion, again, as I've mentioned before, is that the seed provides the seed kits that this is based on provide plenty of display options and weapon options, and with the ability to use all these striker packs, you can do a lot of stuff with this. The parts that are new, much like the HGCE gym, they do make the kit feel different enough to be its own thing. Not $40 different, but different. And of course, my whole issue with this entire kit is the asking price and the availability of said kit. This kit should be much, 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 much more readily available, given the fact that it's not that weird of a kit. The horrible nub placement's a deterrent as well. The sanding doesn't do much. You're going to have to touch things up with paint. Luckily, the paints you have to touch it up with are really easy to find. You can just use Mr. Hobby's Aqueous, Hobby Color, Titan's Blue, and Phantom Gray, and Character Red for the most part. It's not really going to be hard to touch up. My overall verdict essentially is that, while it's not a horrible kit, it still doesn't make sense being exclusive. Its companion suit, the Dagger L, is a standard release, and it's more obscure than this. The exclusivity and the price point make the kit hard to warrant really picking up unless you're a fan of the design or Gundam Seed. Then I can say pick it up. Otherwise, it's just a mediocre, high grade, a little steep of an asking price for a final product on something that essentially is just a grunt suit that has no actual rhyme or reason to be exclusive, given the fact that it's just a grunt. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little review and rant. The next video I'll be reviewing the Master Grade Eclipse Gundam, and then we'll be right back to your regularly scheduled Space Marines.